Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music.
In the news tonight, Fiji through to the Cup semi-finals after beating New Zealand. Tailevu Provincial Council to help inmates. And farmers complain about poor drainage.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
The Fiji Airways men's 7 side will meet South Africa in the Cup semi-finals after beating New Zealand 24 points to 19 in the quarters of the Singapore Sevens. Coach Gareth Baber says that he's proud of the boys and he knew that the game against the All Blacks would be a tough one. Anna Ravulo reports.
It was a pulsating match as both teams replied to every try, but Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber says the pressure was expected.
We always knew coming out against New Zealand was going to be a test for us. They put us under a lot of pressure, but we responded to it, and obviously those last couple of minutes there where we got a bit of ball off a kick that didn't find touch, and I was proud of the way that we conducted ourselves and proud of the way that we showed discipline on the field and obviously ruthless to finish it off.
Baber says in order to go all the way through, the boys need to cut down on their errors and work on some weaknesses.
I think we just need to get some out errors. We need to certainly cut out the errors in our defence and make sure that we're making our tackles. It's a big thing about keeping the opposition under pressure all the time, that they don't have those easy scores. We let a couple of easy scores in there and I want to see that improve by the next game.
Fiji will now meet South Africa in the first Cup semi-final and the Cup final is scheduled for 12 a.m. tomorrow. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
A 25-year-old man died after he was allegedly electrocuted at Navatu settlement in Vusinga, Naitasiri, yesterday. Police say that the man touched a clothing line which had fallen on a meter box and it allegedly electrocuted him. It is alleged that 2 children aged 5 and 3 were playing with the meter box outside the home belonging to a 23-year-old farmer when they switched on the meter just as the victim was touching the fallen clothesline. The 23-year-old farmer tried to rescue the victim when he was also allegedly electrocuted. All 4 were rushed to the Vunindawa hospital where the 25-year-old was pronounced dead on arrival. The remaining 3 were treated and sent home as the investigation continues. A new Tailevu Care Committee was formed after being approved during the Provincial Council meeting that ended on Friday at Nauluvatu village in Nakelo. Tailevu Provincial Council Chair Rusiate Tundravu confirms that the committee will look into the welfare of those inmates within the province that have finished serving their sentence. Savar Tambua has more.
The chair of the Tailevu Provincial Council says that communities and villages play a big role in helping those that have served their sentence and needs to get back on their feet.
This is a new committee where we will work closely with the Corrections Department, especially when they are out after serving their sentence and going back into the community, just to encourage community members, the acceptance part of it.
Ravu says that they will also help in terms of finding a job.
Also to work closely for those that have been undergoing training at the various correction institutions. If this committee can also look into finding out jobs for them.
A total of 175 inmates in all correction services around the country are from the province of Tailevu. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The registration of sex offenders bill will not contradict with the Yellow Ribbon Initiative. During the consultation of the bill in Mombasa this week by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights, Committee Chair Ashnil Sudhakar said the Yellow Ribbon Initiative is only for minor offenders. Sudhakar says the bill aims at serious cases like sexual assault, rape and others with a scale of sentences of 5 years and above. He says they have received more than 10 submissions on the bill and expect more next week before it is tabled in Parliament mid-May.
No, not really, because you see, Yellow Ribbon Initiative and this other, what used to be the CSOs, the Compulsory Supervision Order, and another bill that we are currently debating in Parliament is called the Community-Based Corrections. These are mostly for small offences, like minor offences.
Social media penetration in Fiji has increased significantly over the years. With over 500,000 active social media users in Fiji as of January this year, According to research conducted by social media analytics Hootsuite, 55% of Fiji's population is online. This is a 16% growth compared to January 2017. Rachel Nath reports.
The New Zealand Herald's social media producer says the figures indicate that of the 500,000 active social media users, all are on Facebook.
About 52% of these active social media users accessing Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, any social media platform, through their phones. So what you can say is that because of the mobile penetration, wide penetration across the country, we see more people accessing social media on their phones as opposed to on desktop.
An Al Jazeera producer and smartphone film school founder, Nashod Zok, says the figures show the importance of a smartphone in today's world.
Just gives almost anybody the ability to have a voice and to be able to document their lives, document the things that are of interest to them and concern to them, and just allow them to get that message out there, whatever that happens to be.
BBC's William Sargent says with the high internet penetration, it's imperative that responsible social media usage is always practiced.
These phones is that they are wonderful, wonderful creative tools. They're also incredibly dangerous weapons. You can press record on anything, good or bad. And if it's a bad situation, you've got to think very carefully about should you be recording it, and if you do, who's going to get hurt.
The statistics were revealed during a 2-day digital media workshop in Suva, where 36 Fijians undertook a training session on making social media movies through a smartphone. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Farmers in the Northern Division have raised their concerns to the Minister for Waterways, Dr. Mahendra Reddy, regarding poor drainage. While highlighting these issues, they also emphasized on the need to change some of the culverts that are being used over the years and are not able to hold enough water. Dr. Mahendra Reddy has assured the farmers that the irrelevant culverts will be changed.
Change in weather pattern has caused more rain. As a result, the amount of water being discharged has increased and a lot of culverts need to be changed.
Coming up in sports, Lautoka through to the finals in OFC. And Special Olympics to begin tomorrow. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya go silil tali. Nagurara may naomanyi nandunga gitu tele tegi yang gitu beneswale bu menguntur rongo barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandumai biti
na Radio Fiji 1 nandumai biti na bonga ni BNN.
The Lautoka football side is through to the final of the Oceania Football Championship after defeating Solomon's Mara's side 1-0 today. Lautoka's head coach Kamal Swami said it was a team effort and the team deserves the win. Meanwhile, Lautoka will now face Team Wellington in the finals.
I think the halftime pep talk was very important for us because we knew we were out of the tournament, so we had to go and give everything, and then that was what we did. And it's just the players who has given the 100%. I think full credit should go to the players; they deserve it.
The Suva football side has proved themselves as top contenders after defeating Draketi 5-1 in the Vodafone Premier League today at Nosuri's Ratudakambao Park. Suva's goals came from Bruce Hughes, Ravinesh Karan, Emosi Rangata, Menon Ram and Simeone Tamanisao, while the Draketi's lone sees Volikesa Sawani. Suva's head coach Tuka Tisam says he is impressed with the team's performance.
Yeah, I thought the boys did well. As the game plan we set out, and they delivered well, executing what we needed to do, and 100% got the 3 points. It's important.
More than 100 athletes around Fiji will compete at this year's Special Olympics Fiji Invitational Regional Games, which begins tomorrow. Reporter Luciana Tangidakimba caught up with a few athletes at their camp who say they are ready for the competition.
Competing in the Special Olympic has united the families and communities to help children.
Some families in the community who are already in the Special Olympics now, they're quite happy because some children were at home for years and they have never participated in anything.
The athletes competing says they can't wait for game day.
This is the first time for me to compete in this kind of competition, and this is the first time for me to compete for the medal to take it back home.
Tomorrow will be one of the biggest games for us. I'll be representing our village and will also be competing for the javelin and shot put event.
Meanwhile, 6 countries in the region will compete at this year's competition. Luciana Tangedakimbao, FBC Sports.
More than 6 teams took part in the AFL Powerade Cup competition, which started yesterday. AFL Development Coordinator Matilita Tuilevuka says having this competition will enable development officers to select players for international competitions. Luciana Tangedakimbao once again.
The AFL development officers are looking at preparing teams for the upcoming World Cup.
It's just to prep for our next International Cup in 2020. So from here, once the teams are being selected, we put them in the Fiji tribe, which is the men's team, and the Fiji Vonu, which is the women's team, and then we train them just to prep for our next IC20.
The Navor team, who is new to the competition, says they're here to learn as much as they can.
Expecting to not to win the game, but to get to know the game better. And if we're lucky, then we'll manage to take home the cup.
Meanwhile, the Powerade Cup competition will be played weekly and will end in the next 11 weeks. Luciana Tangedakimbao, FBC Sports.
The Canberra Raiders defeated North Queensland Cowboys 18 points to 8 in the NRL match last night. The Cowboys scored the first try after 16 minutes of the game. Fiji-born Manasseh Matele scored 2 tries for the Crusaders, which resulted in their victory 21 points to 8 against the Brumbies in the Super Rugby match last night. Brumbies' only try came from Henry Spate. Meanwhile, Lima Sopoanga's penalty gave the Highlanders a dramatic 29-28 victory over the Bulls last night. Grenoble defeated Mount Auburn 22 points to 15 in the Pro D2 knockout stages. Here are the highlights of that game.
Carrying up a little bit is Tofa. Oh, is that going to be a try? I think it is. And Tomalolo's a good tackle coming in to hit Francois Huys. They need to keep the momentum going now. Good handoff, the big prop. That's a good pass as well to Melly. Melly needs support. He's got Alexander. They're up to about 1.5 meters out. They got the advantage, and that's a try. Is that David Melly. Godiner takes the ball again forward. That's another. Oh, David Melly does the damage. Out has been won confidently by USM. The driving maul. Let's see what they've got in the tank. At the back, it's Rocher, Jordan Rocher in his 5th season. There's the try, scored by Montauban.
Cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands was experienced today. Elsewhere, it was fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. Now looking at the west, a beautiful day for most areas with temperatures above 30 degrees. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, a humid day with brief showers in the afternoon. And up north, sunshine dominated today with Lambasa hitting 32 degrees. At sea, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas and moderate southerly swells. Now for the tides, the next high tide is at 11:42 p.m. with the low tide at 12:28 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:23. As for tomorrow, cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands is expected. Elsewhere, it should be fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. And looking further on to Tuesday, you can expect some showers. Recapping the main stories. Fiji through to the Cup semi-finals after beating New Zealand. Tailevu Provincial Council to help inmates. And farmers complain about poor drainage. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, and this week we're asking, Do you think more should be invested to develop athletes to meet international standards? Visit our FPC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fpcnews@fpc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FPC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or simply hashtag FPC News. And that was your FPC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबू के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।